URC, folks. Friday game, Saturday morning for me here in NZ. I watched Leinster taking on Ulster up in Belfast, and boy, did it rain. You got some serious rain up there, man. Goodness gracious me. Probably affected how well the game was able to be played because it was absolutely hosing down. But anyway, we'll go through some key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts if you guys are watching the URC and you're in the States. Flow Rugby is the place to be, so check the link down in the description if you also want to watch yourself some URC action because, it ends up being a really tight one, 20 points to 13. But it looked like Leinster had this in the bag, certainly by half-time. They had a pretty substantial lead. It was Ulster who started the game better, at least in terms of being able to hold on to the pill and put some pressure on. But man, I swear they conceded like one penalty. Leinster went down the other end, and then Ryan Baird, the big unit of a man, God, he loves getting in some space, goes over on the left wing. Just those Leinster hands that are able to kind of create that overlap, man. So 7 points to 0. Stockdale, was good to see him playing. I saw him step a couple of players, jinking and jiving. My son had got out of bed by that point, so he was watching along with me, and he was pretty impressed by Jacob Stockdale's stepping ability because he fancies himself a wee stepper himself on the rugby field, my 6-year-old. But I said to him, pretty good, eh, son? And he said, nah, I want the blue team to win. So he got his wish, but he was certainly impressed. I won't deny that. 15 minutes, Ulster. They went close, but they got held up from a maul. They ended up getting a penalty anyway, so we're able to get 3 points on the board. Not the kind of 7 they would have wanted, but 7-3. But then I seem to remember them. They didn't exit from their restart very well. Was it Stockdale that got turned over? But either way, it was one of those kind of coach-killing moments where you've just got yourself on the board, you surrender possession and territory to the opposition, and man, Leinster don't need a second invitation because Bumfa, maul time. Sheehan goes over on 21 minutes. Only one try for him this week compared to like the 4 that he got the other week. So 14 points to 3. And then a scrum penalty makes it 17-3 at half-time. Bit of handbags from that scrum penalty. I think the Ulster guys are getting pretty frustrated. But yeah, man, 17-3 at half-time. Not looking too peachy for the Ulster guys. I mean, they have had more possession, but Leinster have got the only clean break of the first half. And Ulster have copped double the penalties, 6-3. So it's looking like a long road back, especially when Stockdale, he doesn't come back on in the second half. He seemed to be limping at the end of the first, so not ideal. Second half, though, more Leinster pressure. They end up getting a penalty. They opt for 3, so 20 points to 3. But that's the final scoring for Leinster. Unusual, man. Ulster really wrestled the momentum away from them. I mean, I wrote a note on 52 minutes because the Ulster guys haven't had a lot to cheer about the fans. But man, when they do get behind them, they are loud. They held out a Leinster maul, and boy, did the crowd just really start getting behind them. And then it was kind of tit for tat though, because then from the scrum they had to set, then Leinster won a penalty anyway. But then from the line out, when Leinster kicked it, they threw it not straight. So it was kind of just a bit of a comedy of errors. But as I mentioned, the conditions kind of not ideal for building out kind of big faces, but certainly the line out straight was a big let-off. 61 minutes, Ulster and Leinster's 22. The crowd again getting behind it. Maul phases, and McCloskey goes close, and then Jimmy O'Brien gets pinged for some cynical play. So yellow card for him. Ultimate chance for Ulster. What can they do with the extra man? A maul, and great conversion from John Cooney. So 62 minutes, it's Andrew that goes over. And Ulster are suddenly back at the races, man. 20 points to 10. They mauled it again on 67. They went close, got some wide ball, and it looked like Aaron Sexton had gone over for all money. But man, what a try saver from Charlie Ngatai to knock the ball loose. That was an absolute game saver. Potentially saves this entire game. Really, really wicked defense from him just to knock the ball loose. So Ulster, a few minutes later, end up slotting a 3 to at least get within the 7 points and then try to chase the game. But that's the final score, 20 points to 13. I mean, it's not like there's not more chances, but I mean, Will Connors comes off the bench, puts in some kind of bone-crunching tackles to allow his team to win some turnovers. Ulster maul it, they get turned over. Leinster have another line out not straight, which is a little bit frustrating. But yeah, ultimately, Leinster are able to see out the game despite a big old comeback from Ulster. They had all the momentum in the second half, at least from like the 50-minute mark, but not enough to quite catch up. And as I said, that try saver from Ngata really does change the shape of the way the game finished. Possession finishes 56-44, territory 55-45, so Ulster edged that. Defenders beaten is 12-11, so pretty tight. Both sides tackle in the 90s. Leinster have to make a few more. 123 tackles to 99 from Ulster. Penalties conceded as 10 apiece. But yeah, like I said, troublesome conditions to get kind of some flow in rugby, but it was certainly a game of two halves, man. Sheehan, 12 carries, 3 turnovers, 1 a try, gets man of the match. He's doing all right. Ryan Baird, 15 tackles and a try. Not bad from him as well. Marcus Ray, like 17 tackles, couple of turnovers, 1. So, yeah. First loss of the season for Ulster. And they do pick up a losing bonus point, if nothing else. But, yeah, weird one with all the absolutely horrendous rain. But Ulster are back home to the Ospreys next. They'll be looking to bounce back with a win. And Leinster are home to the Sharks, which could be a pretty interesting one. 2 of last season's better teams. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. Where do you think both these teams sit now after this result? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.